Hi everybody and welcome to the April Q&A video. And also, my Pikachu shirt! Yeah! I got this back in 2020. I don't think I have ever done a video with it. First time. I got my questions right here. This is a combination of the questions that were for last month's, but I didn't have a chance to record last month's, and the ones for this month. So I have 22 in total. You can see them here on the screen. Ooh. Really cool. Fascinating, isn't it? Anyway. I have the 22 questions here. I also want to apologize if you're hearing that high-pitched squealing noise again. I don't know what's causing it. I have been trying all morning to fix it. I only have like a limited time to do this. That I can, sit here and do this in quiet. And I wasted at least a good chunk of it trying to get this to work. So I'm going to try and fix it in post. If I can't, I apologize. If somebody out there in the comments, because the last time this happened was February's, and I did look it up, and it's saying like it might be a driver issue. If anybody out there has a solution for this, I would welcome the feedback. Or if you have an idea of, hey, this is what you can throw in post to get rid of it, like an audio filter, oh, believe me, I'm going to try. Because this is pissing me off. And this is the same mic that I use for the podcast and most of my other recordings too, so it just annoys me. But anyway, time is short, fast approaching death, and I have questions to answer. Your questions. So let's get into this, shall we? Alright. So what were your favorite shows or movies growing up as a kid in your time? In my time? What the hell, am I ancient? Oh, screw it. I mean, by this generation's standards, I'm ancient. But alright, some of my favorite shows were like Dudley the Dragon, Bananas in Pajamas, Centurions, Looney Tunes, Droopy Dog, Huckleberry Hound. I watched Cartoon Network a lot as a kid. But basically, those kinds of shows. I loved Centurions. I loved the theme song. In fact, I still think they have got to redo that show. Or at least redo the toy line. I mean, hell, Lego could touch that. Lego, I'm willing to create for Lego's stupid idea thing, which it would probably never get greenlit, but I'd be willing to try the Lego Centurion set. I think that would work out really well. Especially with some of the molds that they've had recently with the Technic and that, would definitely work. But as far as shows, I mean, obviously Power Rangers. I watched Rocko's Modern Life a lot as a kid. I love that show. Angry Beavers. There's just a lot. But those show-wise. Movie-wise, honestly, whatever was on. I remember watching a VHS copy of Transformers the movie from 1986. I watched... What the hell was it? Well, I watched a lot of movies as a kid. My one uncle would take me every Sunday to the movies, so that was fun. But yeah, movies, there's way too many to count. But shows, I have a list, so yeah. I like that in my time. In my time. Back in my day, when you used to be able to do this and that. Yeah. I'm grandpa now. Get off my lawn! Okay. Did you ever travel outside your state a lot in the past? Yes and no. Yes, I've traveled outside the state. I live in PA, and yes, I have traveled outside of it. Have I traveled a lot? No. We poor. We poor people. The furthest west that I went, I actually have to double... I kind of want to say I want to double check this, because I did have to take a business trip. Yeah, let me check that quick. Hold on. Let me pull up ye ol' internet here and see if this will work or not. Probably not. It's going to take a while. But, yeah, I have traveled outside the state in the past. Not a lot. My mom and I, a couple times, we went to New Jersey for a day trip. It was like first and second grade. We went to New Jersey. We went again, I want to say 2010, like the summer of 2010, 2011, give or take. I want to say we went back around that time, because I remember it wasn't too long. I think it was right before she ended up losing her job at the school, so we went there. I've been up to New York City. Don't like it. Sorry, I don't like New York City. My one uncle, the one that took me to the movies all the time, had invited my mom and I up there for a on the company business trip he was on, he could invite some guests, and we were, invited to go along. So yeah, there was that. I just gotta figure out where exactly this is because I went. Okay, so maybe I don't know. I'm trying to find a map because there was. I mean, I haven't gone that far westward. So I'm trying to figure out where exactly out to the west I've gone. And no, okay, so yeah, so the furthest west I've been is Harrisburg. Yeah, furthest west I have been is Harrisburg. Because I'm almost sure that that's at a different spot. I could guarantee it. Hold on. Let's see. I guarantee you that's the furthest west I have gone is Harrisburg. I would put good money on it. Because I went to Sealings Grove, PA, for a business trip with work once. So I've been there. Let's see, Harrisburg here. Okay, I like a map, please. Not okay, Harrisburg. I just need to see like a map, the exact pinpoint location. Where's that Wikipedia page? There we go. Where's that Wikipedia page? That'll give me what I'm looking for here. To tell me whether or not I have been out past Harrisburg. Because I don't think I have. Because either way, they were both like day trips. Like I said, I've been to Sealings Grove. You blink and you miss it, basically. No. Okay. Apparently Sealings Grove beats it. So Sealings Grove is the furthest I have been. Just barely. Just barely. Okay. Just barely. Wow. Yeah, so that's like the furthest west I have gone. I've not gone west out of the state. I've been to New York City. Like I said, didn't like it. I've been to New Jersey a few times. Seaside Heights, basically, was where we went. And I've been down to Washington, D.C. That was my mom's birthday present to me the one year when I was in high school. So that was fun. But yeah, did not travel, though, that much in the past. Most of the stuff like we did in state, like we would go to Knoebels or just day trips in the state. So, yeah. Who's your favorite character from Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out? Uzaki. Oh, come on, come on. No, I'm not saying it because of obvious. You're gonna look at that and go, "Oh, that's why." No, 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 no. No, she actually is kind of fun. Again, I just like the whole show. Most of the characters are kind of interesting, especially the father and daughter that run the coffee shop where they both work, and it's like, oh yeah, no, we do this and that. We're trying to get these two together, and then when they get together in awkward situations, we want to know about it. I love that. But yeah, so definitely Uzaki though. She's one of my favorites. Just from like the sheer stupidity level. I feel like I'd be okay. I'm pissed off at you, but then like when your back's turned, I'm laughing my ass off at the stupid shit you just pulled. If you were a scientist, what would you be inventing and or creating in your laboratory? Ooh, okay. So if I were a scientist, what would I be inventing or creating? Probably robotics, because I like robots. Would I be creating like a death ray or something? No. Massive destruction beam? No. Would I be doing anything out of the ordinary? No. Yeah, I would definitely probably go with a probably just robots, like little microbots, stuff to help out people, things like that. Androids, cyborgs, stuff like that. How did you discover YouTube before you started doing the podcast and other videos? I had known about YouTube when I was going to tech school. Back then, they had it blocked. You couldn't access YouTube. And my one classmate's like, "Hey, I gotta show you this really cool video." And we had found a proxy site because there was a couple of things that we had to look up for class, and it was on sites that the school had deemed not appropriate. And by not appropriate, they didn't trust them, so they had their system kind of screw us and lock us out of them. So we found a way around it. We found like a proxy thing, went through that, then went that way. And that was how we'd access YouTube for the longest time. Then, because it would have been like my last semester there, the one teacher's like, look, they're doing video stuff. You guys got to unblock this. And on top of that, we, the teachers, kind of want this for a couple other projects, and I'm not alone in this. So then they unblocked YouTube, and I had found out about it then already. So, and it was interesting back then. That would have been like 2008, so it was still in its infancy yet. And like 2000, yeah, like late 2007, early 2008. It was still in its infancy yet, so that was really fun. Then going on, I just like, oh well, yeah, there's YouTube, and oh well, that's cool. It was a news article that had kind of given me an idea to, hey, maybe I should try putting some stuff up on YouTube, try to make some money, which didn't happen. And that's when I started doing the comedy. Then I'm like, oh, well, screw the comedy. But, hey, YouTube's still fun to hang out on. And then, obviously, because I was listening to the CU podcast with Pat Contry and Ian Ferguson, I was like, hey, I could do this. And then I put up my own podcast. Though originally I did it on SoundCloud until I found out you only get 3 hours for free. 3 episodes in, I used it all up. When episode 4 went up, episode 1 disappeared. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so we're just going to go somewhere else then. And that's when I just kind of went over to YouTube. And I'm like, I'm home. It's like I just got to kick the door in. And I'm like, drop my bags. I'm home. So, yeah. But how I discovered YouTube was my one friend in tech school, Sean. He actually was like, hey, you got to check this video out. He actually showed me an angry video game nerd video when he took out Bugs Bunny. It was on Screw Attack's site. And then he kind of goes, it's up on YouTube, too. And I'm like, what the fuck is YouTube? And he's like, oh, this is YouTube. You got to check this out. Because in my high school, if you went to the computer room, because I didn't have internet until, honestly, we did not have internet here at the house until 2017. A friend of mine would let me, hey, you want to log on to ours? Go ahead. I don't mind because, you guys need it. I know your grandfather's, kind of uppity about it. But then 2017, I started paying for the internet. And it's like, look, because we kind of do need it because we're getting rid of cable. We're going to have some way of getting information in here. And your antenna idea is not going to work. And so it's like, look, I'm just going to pay for it because I want the internet now. This is it. I'm tired of being in the dark ages. And we had the internet since. But he had kind of showed me YouTube. And it's like, when I was in high school, when you went to the library to access the computers, and I had a computer at home. We just didn't have the internet. But if you went to the library to use the computers, you had to follow, and this was the school policy, not the librarian's policy. This was the school policy. It was a strict one. Only educational sites. If you were looking for images, you had to abide by any nudity. They instantly block you out, write you up, automatic detention. There's no fighting it. If they suspect nudity, you get a warning. Your computer privileges were revoked for like 3 weeks at the time. So, like, because I was pulling up anime, and the one's like, I said, no, I said, hold it. I said, that's the character design for the show. I said, because she's supposed to be, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. Just, don't, I said, I'm just getting a couple pictures for a report. Okay, that's fine. Well, just try to do that more at home. Well, I don't have internet at home, so that was that. But otherwise, it was mostly just that. But then again, back in high school, I still used floppy disks to save everything. I kid you not. I actually still have them yet. I have my whole little thing of floppy disks. And I actually did like the 3.5-inch floppies, and no, they might have been the 2.5. I don't know, but it was the floppy disks, and I would always just use those, and that's every day. I had like 3 of them. If I was like, okay, it's a double period, I'm gonna go up to the library, get some images, look up some stuff. And I would always be a little pissed off, like, okay, I got my floppy disk with me, and I'll watch the library be closed. The library's closed during my study hall period. It figures. Especially when it got near the end of the year. It's like, yeah, no, library's going to be closed, library's going to be closed, library's going to be closed. I remember when I was a senior, I'm walking past it the one day. I'm like, I don't have any floppies with me. I don't give a crap anymore. I'm ready to leave here. And I walk by, and it's like, the library is closed. Have a nice summer. And I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I don't care. I didn't care anymore. I'm like, yeah, screw it. I'm out of this hellhole. But yeah, so prior to when I went to tech school, the only way that I had known about YouTube was nothing. I didn't know about it until I went to tech school. So that was how I discovered it. It was actually a friend of mine that turned me on to it. So thank you, Sean. You never watch these videos anyway, but... How many anime and manga have you watched and read in preparation for the anime GBU series? Believe it or not, I have not really watched any in preparation for it. The first season, which is the only one that's up so far, because I'm having issues with what I want to do with season 2, and that's the thing. It's not that it's done. It's just on hiatus because I don't know what I want to go with it. I kind of don't know do I want to have like an underlying plot, to pull like an AVGN, top the fourth wall, an HOPR. I don't know here. But believe it or not, I did little to no research in preparation. It was just, I watched the series. I give you, here's like a general, okay, like I'll pull up the information like as I'm recording it, like here's, I have this screen over here and this screen here is like, I'm seeing my camera over here and over here's the information. Because that's what I used to do with the Q&A until I just started like, I'm just going to print them out. It makes it a little easier right now. But I could go, okay, so it's studio, like insert name here. It came out this time, ran to this time. The rest of it's just literally my thoughts on it. Like, no, I don't script anything. In fact, I haven't script. I do have one script that I'm working on for a review video, but I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So there is that. But yeah, in preparation, I've watched a lot of anime series. I've read a lot of manga. In fact, I got a lot of manga. I got in Legends, Eyes, Icon, just so many of them. Like over a summer or two, going into the local bookstore at the mall before it, closed up because it got bought out, and I was sad. I couldn't even make it in there the last day, and it was open. And that really hurt me. I really wanted to go in and say goodbye to them, but it really hurt. I couldn't make it in there. But I have not watched any. I have like any preparation. I've done none. It's like, okay, what I want to talk about, that's about it. Like, okay, let me pull up ones that I remember. Okay, boom. If I like do a little bit of maybe a refresher or something, like pull up the plot, something, just go, okay, yeah, that's right. Now I remember it. Okay, I remember this. Okay, because I just give like a general idea. I'm not gonna do like a whole critique thing, where it's like, okay, here's the story. Here's this, and this, and let me just spell it out for you in black and white, and then you can put in the color then how you want it. This is my interpretation of it. This is what I thought of it. If you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's fine. If it's something that I hate, I'm going to tell you why I hate it. If I loved it, I'm going to sing its praises till I'm blue in the face. So that's what I usually did. But as far as how many I've watched in preparation, there was like no preparation. That was almost all of it was off the top of my head, save for some information that I kind of feel like was relevant. Like, okay, here's the general, like, okay, this is the studio that made it. This is the year it came out, like the month, day, and the year it came out, and this is when it ran to, and this is how many episodes it was. There you go. I pull up a thing like, here are the characters, because I'm never going to remember pronouncing them all right, unless it's a series that I truly know by heart. That's about it. So, yeah. Have your videos gained a small bit of popularity as of late? Yes. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell my one podcast episode from April 2nd, the very first one for this month, how that jumped up all of a sudden to over 200 some views in a week. Because when I went back in, then that would have been on the 10th. I saw that because I put it up on the 3rd, and I was like, "Holy shit!" It's like 200. It was like 255 views. And I'm like, how in the hell did that happen? I couldn't figure that out. I was like, how in the hell did that happen? I didn't exactly have an answer for that, but as far as that, yeah, but not entirely, because I'm not doing them as much as I was. So I'd like to really get back into it. I mean, I got a nice screen and everything now. I got everything kind of fixed up wonderfully. I just wish that I would have a little more time to do it, a little more like, hey, I can do this at night for a little bit, but I still live up on the second floor, and small space. I'm trying to maneuver some stuff around, but it's a work in progress at this point. I'm trying to make it better while at the same time balancing and juggling everything. Yeah, so trying. If you lived in Japan, what would your life be like? I have no idea. I have no idea because here's the neat little thing. Robin over at Anime America, she actually put out a video, and it kind of blew the lid off of what you always interpreted the Japanese like high schoolers and the children what they did as far as school wise. She just like blew the curtain off of that. It's like, oh my god, that's what really happens. And Anime painted a picture that they're screaming for help, and we never realized it. And I was like, oh my god, that's horrifying. But what would my life be like? I could give you like a general consensus. Probably a little more free time on my hands, depending on what I would have to work and what my job would be. If I could be able to sit there and go, hey, I'm going to put out YouTube videos. I'm going to do like gaming content. I'm going to do this and that. I'd probably be happy as hell about it. I'd probably be like, hey, this is the best life ever I could ever imagine. But yeah, I couldn't. I don't know what to tell you. It's one of those that the branching path is way too many other trees and stuff, and way too many branches, way too many divergent paths that I don't know which one would work. I don't know which one would happen. So there's that. If you had $1 billion, like Elon Musk, oh god, that should be good. Okay. And many other millionaires. Well, no, if you're saying $1 billion, it's billionaires, not millionaires. But okay. So in other words, if I was rich out my butt, got it. If I was Mr. Beast rich, got it. What would you do with your money? Use it for a pool, etc. Well, there'd be a Dr. Pepper machine in my house. That would be the first thing. There's a Dr. Pepper machine that gets filled up every day. I don't care if it's just cans, 2-liter bottles. I don't care if you got to come and drop off a couple of these giant things. I keep them in like a walk-in fridge or freezer, and I just hook up and get like a dispenser. I don't care. But there is a Dr. Pepper machine in my house. That's one. There's a thing. There was a song by the Bare Naked Ladies, "If I Had $1 Million," and they kind of list off what they would do with it. And one of the things I always thought to myself, if I ever had $1 million, or if I was ever like really rich, there's a few things I would do. For starters, my one friend who helped me out a lot in school. In fact, if it wouldn't have been for him, I would have never graduated the 8th grade. And he knows it. I have never shied away from it. I will never deny it. If it would not have been for his help, I would have never graduated the 8th grade because I would have failed social studies. And he helped me a lot in that. He slipped me his bonus bucks, and I put them on my assignments to try to get as many points as I could just to get a passing D. And I got it by the skin of my teeth. I'm not even joking. I got like one or 2 points above what the bare minimum for the D was. Like, I'll take it. I pass. Fine. And it wasn't my fault. The teacher just hated me. It really hated me with a passion. But if I wouldn't have passed that, I would have had to go in summer school. And I'm stressing out about this because I got, teachers driving me nuts. I have my class wanting to kind of kill me. I have, shit at home going on. I cannot afford to fail a freaking class. And I'm trying to figure out, he lent me his, because he had social studies first period, I had second period. And we crossed paths in the hallway. He'd always go, "Hey, Andrew, here, take these." I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm just like, turn in my homework assignment. Oh, look, here's 5 bonus points. Because he was an intelligent person. He was valedictorian of our class. I knew he was going to be. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, I would have never graduated the 8th grade. And I will never, ever, ever deny that. So I always figured if I ever got really super rich, I would find a way to pay him back somehow. Set up a college fund for his kids. Put a savings account, a trust fund, something. I don't care. I would make sure that it's like, look, I'd love to help you, but you helped me not failing this, so I'm going to in turn do something to help you by, helping your kids. That's the one thing that if I ever got really super rich, I would do in a heartbeat. It is on a list of things, and it's either number 1 or number 2. I think it's number 2. I think number 1, honestly, for me would be, I'm going to do one stupid thing for myself because I kind of feel like fate screws me to the wall. It's like, look, if I win the lottery or something, or I get Mr. Beast money, I'm gonna do one stupid thing for me just to try to give fate the middle finger. Then the rest of the time's like, I got it's mine. So there is that. But yeah, I would give him some money. Dr. Pepper machine, definitely be number one. Give my friends money. The other thing that I would definitely do, and this was something that I had thought about. I actually had thought about renting out a movie theater, like a whole movie theater, either on Christmas or just in general, and take all the homeless, like in the area, like all the homeless, get them all. Like, hey, everybody that's at this shelter, hey, you guys are all homeless. Hey, we want to do something nice for you, and take them to the movies. Show them that they're not, hated, that they're not a blight on society, that people, don't ignore them. Go here. I know I can't help you like with everything. I wish I could, but I want to show you that there is still some goodness in humanity. You might be having a hard time, and people always do, but that's the one thing I always thought about doing. But yeah, if I had that kind of money, yeah, I'd be doing that. I mean, would I do some other little things? Yeah, I'd make some repairs in the house. I'd set up a little fund. I'd freaking sit on my ass a majority of my time, relax, invest it wisely, stuff like that. Yeah, in a heartbeat, definitely. But yeah, I have a list of some things that I would do beyond a doubt. And there are some friends of mine that I think more than deserve compensation for putting up with the stupidity that they had to put up with me. So, yeah, definitely. Do you believe in aliens / UFOs are real? Oh, we're real. I mean, they're real. Yeah, I kind of do. I remember there was that group of people that wanted to storm Area 51 like years ago. And I remember putting a thing up on Twitter is they were talking about it, and the one person I was following on Twitter, she's like, she hoped that they were the anal probing aliens. And I just, because at this point, I'm like, you guys are not getting past security. It's like, they're going to like, oh, we're going to Naruto it. You guys are not getting past security. And I'm just like, I'm going to have some fun here. And I had some fun with the fact that I'm like, we probe one human one time, and we never hear the end of it. And all of a sudden, she's like, oh my God, are you an alien? No. But yeah, as far as aliens are concerned, I actually I do believe I do believe that we are not alone in the universe. So. Okay, and I actually got to make a little correction here. I just noticed we actually only have 20 questions. I didn't realize that I accidentally copied 2 of them twice, so that was my bad. So if I missed 2 questions, because there's really only 2 people that asked the questions this month. You know your questions, I'm sure you do. If I missed them or I accidentally screwed up, resubmit them in the comment section and I'll answer them in the comment section. I do apologize. I honestly just noticed it. I did not catch that. So that tells you. See, look here. Okay. Number 9 and number 11 and number 10 and 12 are both the same. See? Number 9 and 11 and 10 and 12. So I seriously did not catch that. I do apologize for that. If I missed a question that you submitted, please let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to answer it in the comments, or I will just I'll save it for the next one. I do apologize if I missed one. Please let me know. But yeah, I did not notice that until I'm looking down like, oh shit, that's the next. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So, we're down to 20 questions then. So I only have, I'm up to number 13. All right, yeah. So we're good here. We're moving on. Okay, so if you had your own website, what would it be like? Did you ever see the Iron Man website from when the first movie came out? That really cool flash animation thing that had like the whole Jarvis heads-up display, and it went around the entire website. Something like that, but with the ability to play videos, have little like commentary things, or submit your own question section, stuff like that. Definitely something like that. I always liked that look that website had. How many friends do you have? Okay, we're getting personal here. Okay. Oh, what the hell? It's a Q&A. It's an AMA at this point. Um, my best friend Andrew, my best friend Sean, Cap. So it's 3. Tyler, my one coworker. Well, my former coworker. So that's 4. I feel like I'm gonna screw this up if I don't say somebody's name, and they're gonna get pissed off. Like, I'm not your friend. You know, well, no, you're an acquaintance. I have a lot of acquaintances. 4 good friends. I will say 4 good friends and a bunch of acquaintances. And I mean a bunch of acquaintances. So, yeah. But at least 4 good friends. Well, 5. I can throw in a couple of my friends on Facebook that I know I talk to every now and then. So 5, 6 good friends. Worst case scenario, but yeah. If you had superpowers, what would you use them for and why? If I had superpowers, okay, so we're not going with a specific superpower here. Okay, I'd either fight crime or I would just solve everyday problems. Like, oh, here I need to get my job done. I'd rent my services out. Like, look, if I had super speed, okay, I can restock your shelves in 20 minutes. All right, you're done. It'd be $5,000. Hey, and I would like make a business out of that. Like, look here, I will work this, and you need to do that. Problem solved. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, basically. What are your favorite YouTubers? Too many to count. 8-Bit Guy, LGR. There's just too many of them to count because it's like I'm like 31 flavors when it comes to the YouTube channels and creators and YouTubers. I'm like 31 flavors. There's some days where I may not like vanilla anymore, and I might want to try cookies and cream. And there are days I might get tired of cookies and cream, and I want to have French vanilla. There might be days I'm tired of French vanilla, and oh look, over here you have what appears to be cotton candy flavored, and it's a good cotton candy. Or oh, I'm tired of this. It varies massively, so I can't really narrow it down 100%. Do you have another Facebook account besides your channel's Facebook page? Yes. Yes, because you have to have one. Here's a neat little tidbit. Because I recently had to explain this the fire company I volunteer at. If you have a Facebook account and you set up another page through that account, that means that you're in charge of it. So you're managing that page. So Web Designer 18 Facebook page, I manage that. Hence, it's connected to another account, so I can get in and out of it. It's not a standalone account. So yes, I do have another account. Do I, accept, put it out there for everybody to come and see me? No. Twitter, yes, because Twitter's short, sweet, to the point. Facebook, not so much. Facebook can get a little annoying to navigate, and Zuckerberg and everybody there keeps changing it every couple months, so there is that too. Who's your favorite / most relatable character from Garfield, both the comic strip, the cartoon, and the film? Garfield, he hates Mondays. I hate Mondays. He likes to sleep. I like to sleep. He lazes around and does absolutely fuck all. Hell, I'd kill for that. Garfield with a passion, hands down. John Arbuckle, no. Garfield. It's my favorite character of Garfield. I quote him. God damn it, I quote him. Would you rather be a Pokemon trainer, Digimon tamer, or a duelist? Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, I would be cool with being a Pokemon trainer because I think, and if I want to look at this, there's 3 different ways you can look at this. One, you'd be looking at it from a financial standpoint. I feel like being a Pokemon trainer would be much more financially stable because you're obviously getting money somehow. You exist in some type of a fashion. You're getting royalties from being a champion. You're getting royalties from being a gym leader. You cannot tell me that you aren't getting paid somehow. Hell, I right there, it's a guarantee. You have a job. You have a job security. So long as you're still good, you have job security. It's that simple. Digimon Tamer would be like the least profitable thing you could work on if you want to go from like a financial standpoint, because you'd be like, well, I have some money, but I mostly exist in a digital world with other digital creations, but I can live for eternity. Don't really have to worry about eating, but yet you do. So you have to find food somehow. So you're scavenging. Duelist would be sort of the middle ground because it's dependent upon how good you are versus how not good you are, tournament-wise and stuff like that. So, financial-wise, Pokemon Trainer. Entertainment-wise, I'd probably go with Duelist. Digimon Tamer, unless it's Frontier's version of being a tamer where I can use the system, where I can use the Digivice and, Spirit Evolution. No. Because I'd have a second mouth to feed, and I'd have to put up with an annoyance that would either be fun and okay, or oh god, I would have just strangled you. There's like no middle ground with that. So yeah, no. I think Tamer would be like the least favorite thing on my list to pick, unless we're talking somehow like you're in charge and you're like the protector of everything. Then maybe. Otherwise, not a chance. Not a chance in hell. So probably Pokemon Trainer, Duelist, and then Digimon Tamer. In that order. Mostly because I kind of feel like being a Pokemon Trainer, you would have more of an income. And there's way more variety because you can always screw your opponent to the wall. Like, oh, we're going to battle this way. This is how I work in my gym. We're going to have this type of a battle. So, yeah. What are your least favorite Power Ranger seasons from each of the 3 eras? Saban, Disney, and Neo Saban. See, now, I have to figure out where the cutoff is for Saban versus Disney. Because I did like Wild Force. But I'm pretty sure that was Disney. Because Disney was the one pulling the strings. Hence why you had so many specials, recurring characters. And Disney was kind of like, whoa, what the hell? Pull the reins back on this, bitch. You're spending way too much money. Time Force was one of my favorites. But least favorite. Well, actually, hell, in all honesty, it's a toss-up, honestly, between either Turbo or Lost Galaxy. And the only reason, and that's for the Saban era, the only reason why is because I kind of feel like Turbo... Look, aside from the Megazords, Turbo sucked, okay? The Megazords were about the only decent thing that series had going for it, and nothing else. As far as, here, let's watch a decent show, Lost Galaxy had nothing. But Turbo, just, the villains were so stupid, and oh my god. And then when you watch Car Ranger, which is what it's based off of, it's like, oh my god. It almost looks like they literally copied the Sentai. Ironically, something that Disney would do down the road. Well, Disney would mention it down the road, and that would happen in Neo Saban, but I have my reasons for that. As far as the Disney era is concerned, my least favorite is Ninja Storm. I hated Ninja Storm. I could not stand Ninja Storm. And I know somebody out there is going to go, or they're going to try to go down the, you didn't like it because the Red Ranger was African American. So nope, nothing to do with that, because I actually like SPD, and RPM's one of my favorites. I hated Ninja Storm because it felt so just ugh. It felt like they were trying their damnedest to pitch it to teenagers, and it was failing miserably so hard that the adults and the longtime fans were like, what did you do to my show? I hated that. I actually liked Operation Overdrive despite everybody hating it. Yes, it wasn't perfect. Nothing is. There were faults in it left, right, and sideways. As far as I'm concerned, because at that point, I kind of felt like Operation Overdrive was the first really good, Disney's first look. We're not splitting this against, having this on a Saturday morning. This is going to be our first, it's going to be on a Monday night show. I kind of feel like they were trying, but at the same time, they weren't expecting it to succeed. So, I'll give them a pass on it, but I still liked it. It was one of my favorites. I mostly liked it, of course, for the Max, the story, well, fucked up that it was, but yes, especially when you have Linkara doing his History of Power Rangers, pointing out the massive plot holes, like, just buy an army. Yeah, not a bad idea, actually. But hey, I'll give 5 people a chance to be superheroes. I mostly liked the team up that they had for Once a Ranger, which was because Bo Kenjer was the 30th Sentai series, so that was pretty cool. As far as Neo Saban, obviously we all know which one I hate the most, and it's the twofer. I give Samurai a pass because, and I still stand by this, I feel like Nickelodeon came to Haim Saban and said, look, um, or Haim Saban with Nickelodeon, like, look, Fox Kids doesn't exist anymore. Disney fucked this thing so hard. I want to have this on your network. Cartoon Network, they're being pains in the ass about it. They want to go 15 or like 11-minute episodes. That don't work for us. Can we come on to Nickelodeon? And I think Nickelodeon was like, we welcome you with open arms. We'll take you in. We'll call you home. You can call us home. Look, take a year and a half. We'll give you the time you need. Flesh this thing out, make it good. Then what I think happened was Nickelodeon had a bunch of stuff that they had to axe, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, remember when we said take your time? We need it in 2 months. Like, now. Hence why we didn't get the actual opening first episode till the end of the first season. Why we didn't have a proper introduction to the Rangers for Samurai. I give it a pass. And mostly because I feel like Haim Saban got fucked in the ass by Nickelodeon horribly. So it gets a pass. I give it a pass. Whole up, it gets a pass for me because of that. Now, Megaforce and Super Sucker Force. I'm sorry, Super Mega Force. Super Mega Blue. Okay? Your anniversary season. I mean, if you want me to give you a really good one that I hated from Disney on top of Ninja Storm, how about when they redid, because they still had the license yet right after RPM ended, let's redo a retro version of MMPR just to slap people in the face and say, ha ha, fuck you. That was designated as its own season, which pisses me off because I don't consider that a season. I would say that's a special, if anything else. That screwed up the figuring on everything. And then with Nickelodeon's arbitrary X amount of episodes equals a season and no more rule, you kind of got screwed when it came to Samurai, which had why we had Samurai and Super Samurai. Megaforce, on the other hand, pisses me off on a grandiose scale far beyond anything I could ever comprehend. And you have heard me complain about this so many times, but let me just give you a little briefer update again. You show off the Ranger keys in episode 1. Gosei, supposedly Zordon's student, yet because the Earth was in trouble, how many times you do absolutely nothing. You hand out the power-ups like Oprah passing out the Pontiacs. And then on top of that, when we get to the Super Mega Force, which is actually the Gokaiser adaptation, you butcher the hell out of it. A decent episode that you had where the Rangers have to take on, the former villain from the Mega Force thing. You couldn't have figured out a way to lock out the other powers. No, it's a super mega mode. That's how we justify the Gokaiser transformation in this. We're not going to give them all new suits. No, I would have given them new suits. Like, look, your powers are tied to the morphing grid. Right now, the morphing grid is in a massive state of flux. Because of that, we have isolated these particular powers that, for a short amount of time, can allow you to transform into past Ranger teams and teams from other planets. This way, you can still protect the Earth, and until we can stabilize the power, we might be able to fix this. The episode when, what was it, Orion was captured, or the loser that became the 6th Ranger. When he got captured, I don't even care anymore. That tells you how much I hated the damn thing. When he got his ass captured by Vrax, or Varax, whatever the fuck the guy's name was, and was being held in that underground water chamber, it's like, okay, here's the concept. Now your powers are useless because they're all tied together because of that 6th Ranger. We tied them all together. That way you guys can all have access to the morphing grid. But because they're trying to tap into what we have set up separately, we have to disconnect access to it. That's why right now you don't have your powers. You can't access, these powers. But because we were able to slightly stabilize it before, and you could have spun this 1,000 different ways. And that's the episode for me that was the quintessential, besides the finale, the quintessential view that they gave us was we isolated your Megaforce powers. You can still transform into your Megaforce forms. That's the best we can give you. That's it. Or have a way to be like, look, they go to the Ranger keys and he's trying like touching them, and the Ranger keys all turn to stone, save for their 5, Ghost Ager powers, which turn back into their actual morphers. They go, whoa, what's this? Your powers must still be active in you. Therefore, you're still able to tap into the morphine grid with those powers. So therefore, you can probably still transform. And there you go. Plot for the episode explaining the powers. No, just have them get captured, have them, battle this thing, show up the last of the Ghost Ager footage we have that we couldn't piss around with in season 1, and then butcher the whole thing then with the finale that you air 2 different versions of, one on Nickelodeon and one on Nicktoons, and it's you to everybody. That's the season from Neo Saban I hated the most. As far as the rest of them go, Dino Fury wasn't bad. I thought that... no, Dino Charge. Thank you. Yeah, Dino Charge wasn't bad. Yes, I would have actually followed through at the end of the first season as to whether or not you killed the villain, which apparently nobody does. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. As far as the rest of them go, no. I feel like Power Rangers has been on a massive decline lately. And with Netflix in a state of it's on constant fire, I kind of don't see Power Rangers surviving much more, because I recently read a comment on my one discussion video about Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, where apparently the person in charge of Power Rangers said that would never be getting an adaptation because of obvious reasons. It dawned on me, like, you know what? I don't see Power Rangers being around in a year or two, because I kind of feel like Netflix is going to kill it. And because Hasbro will be under the assumption that, look, it's a property, it's dead to us, there's nothing we can do with it, they're going to shuck it under the rug and be done with it too. So, yeah, I kind of feel like that would be a bad thing in the long stretch. In a long stretch, I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen. But yeah, if you want like my worst from the Hasbro era so far, definitely have to kind of give it to Beast Morphers. I'm sorry. And I think Beast Morphers was Hasbro yet. I'm almost certain it was. I hate it. I hated it. I'm sorry. I hated it. I watched the Cliff Notes version of it, and the more I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, Go Busters wasn't that well received in Japan to begin with, because it followed the 35th series, which just blew everybody out of the water. Then you get the 36th, and it's like, yeah, you're limping to the barn, and it's understandable. But the fact that you try to flesh it out and make it so much better, you were basically polishing a turd and hoping it was going to be gold, and it wasn't. Not by a long shot. Pick female anime characters you want to see work together, being like a Charlie's Angels-like team. Who would you pick? Oh, this will be bad. Okay, definitely gonna go with, I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to say, at least out of a grandiose scheme of things, I'm picking from every single anime that I know of. Well, I can only pick 3. Yeah, see, that's a noodle scratcher. No, that one wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work either. No, that wouldn't work either. Crap. I really have to think about that. But I mean, off the top of my head, pick 3 off the top of my head. Well, could easily go with CC or C2 from Code Geass, the one that loved pizza all the damn time. So her. I would probably go with... what the hell was that one that I watched? Nico Robin from One Piece. That's 2. And I need a third one. You know what? We need a bumbling one to kind of like throw them all off guard for the other 2 to do their thing. I'm going to go with the one from Occultic 9. Her name escapes me at the moment. Her. So those would be my 3 picks. That would be my Charlie's Angels, because Charlie's Angels was only 3. There's only 3. Well, technically there was like 4, I think, because they did a movie, but it's 3. I picked 3. these are the 3 that I picked. So, I can't think of what her name is. The one from Occultic 9. You can easily see which one I'm talking about. She's the one with the large boobs. So her, Nico Robin, and C2. Those would be the 3 I would pick. So, okay, and up to the last question. Do you think Will Smith can redeem himself? Look, this is going to be my take on this, and shoot me if you want to, but there was a line Chris Rock crossed it, and Will Smith slapped him, and Will Smith got in trouble for it. Will Smith slapped him because he badmouthed his wife. Okay? Even if you guys are going to be getting a divorce or something, you still care. He insulted her. I mean, let me put it this way. Would anybody have blown this out of proportion if it would have been, like, somebody that, like, had a massive, like, let's say it's worse than what her condition actually is, okay? And, like, we're talking way, way worse, right? We're talking, like, they've had to go for chemo, like, 8 times a day, okay? And they're there showing solidarity and strength. And he makes that joke. And all of a sudden, their, like, friend is there with them. They're like, this is really, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, what? Yeah. Same constants here. And the problem is that they would still get in trouble for it. I think the Oscars and the Academy blew this thing way out of proportion. And what they should have did, in my humble opinion, they should have just looked at it and said, okay, here's the deal. Had them both come into the office Monday morning, looked at them both and said, okay, here's the deal. So, that was a great stunt you two pulled last night, before they closed the door. Great stunt. Beautiful. Both of you fucked up big time. You crossed the line, and you pole vaulted over the line. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play this off like it was staged. You two are going to be the best of friends about it. Laugh, carry on if you're in public about it. Anybody asks, that's what you tell them. Oh, yeah, we had that thing. We worked it out for weeks. It's wonderful when everything just comes together so perfectly. It was all great. And then, what we're going to do is this. You're getting fined, and you're getting fined, and both of your asses for the next 5 years are not allowed anywhere near us, this stage, or anything with the Academy. How does that strike you? Good? Good? Good. Get out. That's what I kind of feel like they should have did. And what they did do, I kind of feel like it was overkill. And at the same time, it was overkill and it wasn't overkill. But I kind of feel like they went a little too far, if that makes any sense, versus what they should have done. So there is that. But, yeah. And that was it. That's the last one. But do I think that he can redeem himself? Probably, but I really don't think at this point he's probably going to get a chance to, because I think they're going to lock him out for good. So there was that. But anyway, that's all I got, folks. I don't know for the next Q&A, because there's some stuff going on in real life right now for me. So let me take a look here. Worst case scenario, I'd say shoot for the 23rd. The 23rd of May. It'd be the last, not the last Monday, but the second to last Monday. Should be right before Memorial Day. Shoot for the 23rd and have them all in by 12 a.m. as usual. Don't forget, parenthesis, Q, ampersand, A. That's, see this here? This is the keyboard. This is lovely. See, so it's, parenthesis. Then you go over here to Q. Yeah. Q. Then this little thing right here above the 7. Then down here again to A. See A? And then the other parenthesis. That's what you got to do if you want me to answer the questions for the Q&A. So, there you go. People always say, like, find ways to do this. Okay, there. It's a small keyboard. It's right here by the computer. But, by the way, this is actually the first ever Q&A video recorded on my new desk. Yeah! Yeah, I actually got a new desk. We fixed up this corner, and I finally got a new desk. I've wanted a desk here for a while, and a decent one, anyway. And we finally got it fixed up. That would have been not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I'm happy about that. Finally got the whole green screen thing figured out behind me, so yay me! I'm finally doing well. But hopefully it gets to stay this way. Until next time, folks, I'm Andrew Rhodes. I'm bowing out. I'll catch you next time right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Don't forget, we do a Patreon if you want to help support the channel. No pressure, you don't have to. It's patreon.com/Web Designer 18. There's also a Ko-fi page you can help out with too if you want. And don't forget, check out the Absolutely Completely Random podcast every Sunday right here on the YouTube channel. I record it on Saturdays and I upload it on Sundays. So there you go, folks. And until next time, I'm bowing out. I'm out of here. Catch you later. Bye.